Like, how did you go about developing those partnerships? Like, were they always like with Slack or with other like partners that you had in early days?
Yeah, I think A, showing value to them. Um, maybe that was through, I remember with Slack, like we actually brought them a few household names that were interested in doing this three-way case study. And that made them quite interested in continuing to invest deeper in us. Then honestly, I just met a bunch of them, became friends, and I just asked. And that's probably been the most underrated thing in sales. Like you come to your quarter end, you're like really trying to hit this revenue goal, and this deal is like $1 million, and it's like hinging. Maybe it's like on January 31st, maybe it's like February 1st. And you know what most sellers don't do? They just don't ask. We just call our buyer and said, dude, we're trying to hit a huge goal. It mean a lot to me if you could sign this today. Could you do that? And 10 times out of 10, they will say yes. They will go to bat for you. Like, it's not awkward. I know it feels awkward, but you got to just ask them. In deal cycles too, sometimes you feel like you're wasting a bunch of time. You don't know if you're winning or not. We just ask them. We say, hey, I feel like we're behind. Is that true or not? And they'll say, yes, you are behind for these reasons. And we address this reason. Now we're ahead. Then we get to the procurement stage and we'll say, hey, do we have the, tech win? Are we the vendor of choice that you're going to go to bat for? We are. That's great. But we leave nothing up to ambiguity. And I think that's maybe one thing I've learned early on. Like, it's just like, you're kind of like dancing around the hard, awkward question, right? And you're just like way better off asking them.
So when you're doing the sales strategy, the 12 hours a day, reaching out to people, do you have any strategy or target when you're going into it? Or do you just scroll on LinkedIn, find someone, message them? And then I guess, how do you keep track of all of that? Is it just in your head?
Unfortunately, a bunch of it is in my head or just like tabs where, there's so many tabs open and my computer's so slow, but I don't want to close them because I'm too lazy to put them in like a CRM. So I know I have to do the cold outreach in order to make my computer run fast enough for my next meeting and the next morning, which is like probably the worst advice, but that is kind of how I do it, to be honest.
And then what about your team? Do you have them do the same strategy, just reaching out to people on LinkedIn?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I will like we have like outbound parties. We go pretty ballistic on it, I would say. Think of it this way, like even if they say no, but they respond, at least they know who you are, right? Maybe it's not time for them right now, or their next company, or their next company. Maybe they start a company and it grows to 1,000 people, and then they buy you. That's totally okay too. But you're playing a numbers game ultimately. And so we certainly look at, our buyer profiles, our ICP, what we think is correct. We often will reach out. Like I will spend time mostly reaching out to other founders and CEOs at different companies because you just have a lot more to relate to. But we will ask anyone. It could be a partnerships person that you meet, and they could just DM your person on Slack for you, and they will almost certainly take your call. So it doesn't have to be the direct ICP you're cold reaching out to and doing this hard sell.
Hi, JJ. Thanks for the talk. I think you have a very interesting style in the way you speak, and it kind of translates to what you were saying about your company. There's like a directness to it, and I think it's really cool.